So we all know that Smash Bros. Has a CPU option. It's an option that, honestly, I haven't really used ever since I learned how to do amiibo training. Recently I had the thought, what if I actually used the CPU fighters for a video? With that in mind, I set out to prove that my collection of human-trained amiibo fighters are better than the in-game AI fighters. The way that this will work is simple. I'll pit each of these amiibo fighters against a level 9 CPU fighter with spirits on of the same character. They will then get 5 minutes to fight one another, and whoever comes out on top will be declared the winner. To add an extra layer, I'll be keeping score for each amiibo with this chart here, tracking their KOs and their falls and translating them into point values. At the end, whichever amiibo earns the most points will be granted the title of AI Slayer, and will be added to my prestigious lineup of other challenge champion amiibos. With that out of the way, let's begin the challenge. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you all, I had the idea to do this and the video didn't go very well. And it just didn't work out the way that I thought it would. I recorded every single one of these things and the CPUs with spirits on were significantly more difficult than I anticipated. And CPU without the spirits was way too weak, so it was going to be a weird balancing act and I couldn't quite figure it out. So I shifted gears. It's now CPU is like a boss level CPU. It's got a neutral spirit, which I figure would probably be the fairest thing I could do since other spirits have advantages and disadvantages against one another, like the Fire Emblem weapon triangle. And it's going to have a weapon attack spirit, a shooting attack spirit, and a physical attack spirit. That's what's going to make it up to be like the boss amiibo, or not amiibo, CPU. And the ultimate challenge is now, who can beat the CPU? Otherwise we'd just be watching 86 fights with basically the same or very similar results every single time. I've never scripted one of these videos before, so this is kind of new territory for me as well, so it is what it is. Okay, I started out with the Mario franchise fighters. Most of the fights were pretty standard, but there were a few upsets. Namely, Gelano and Audrey 2 disappointed with -3 points each. Savvy, Franklin, and Dr. Wahoo disappointed with -2, while my rival and Redemption both scored a whopping total of -1. On the plus side, Wonder, Wah, and Strawberry Luigi all managed to beat the CPU with 1 point each, and out of absolutely nowhere, the Child beat CPU with 2 points.
Put your hands together if you wanna clap.
Okay, this will be a quick one. Dairy King gave a pretty good performance, but unfortunately was unable to beat the CPU, earning a final score of -1. Cancelled and Chomps, however, were both successful and managed to beat the CPU with a point each.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Okay, neither Zoraldo, who was my chosen Zelda amiibo, nor Knives Out did particularly well, both finishing with -2. Blue Meanie only did slightly better, ending with -1 points. The trio of Links, consisting of Lamp Oil, Rope, and Bombs, all put up pretty good fights, but in the end, only Lamp Oil succeeded in beating the CPU. Metroid managed to produce a perfect 50-50. Sammy and Dragon Age both were able to defeat the CPU, but Samantha and Mass Effect both underperformed.
Consume paralysis!
Kirby's amiibo did not fare as well as the Metroid amiibo did. Mando Season 2 succeeded and earned 1 point against the CPU, with Fluffy Puff only scoring a -1, and DDD's Nuts gaining our lowest score of the day with an embarrassing -7.
Boo! You stink! Oh my! He's on fire!
And I have some bad news. Star Fox is our first franchise who failed to get a single amiibo who was able to beat the CPU. Out of the three, Dreadwolf did slightly better, earning -2 points over Michael J. and Amadeus's -3.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
It's Clefairy!
Ash wanted to be the very best like no one ever was, and clearly, Ash Ketchum I am not. The only Pokemon amiibo I had to beat the CPU was these hands. All the rest of them were unsuccessful, and the only fight of note was surprisingly Janet, who almost got the fight down to a sudden death but lost her last stock with only 1 second left on the clock.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time!
The two Mother franchise reps I had really high hopes for. Those hopes were dashed pretty harshly, as neither Sonic nor OK were able to defeat the boss. Even though Sonic did worse than OK, he did manage to dodge the CPU's final smash in the dumbest way possible.
Oh-ho!
As one of the few Smash players who actually likes Fire Emblem, I had a lot riding on this one personally, and it wasn't the greatest time, but also wasn't the worst. The one I had highest hopes for was Mike and Ike, and he completely embarrassed himself with a -4. Both Second Matt and Corey did just a little bit better with -2, and Marmar, Sari, and Cordelia nearly beat the CPU but only scored a -1. But my favorite child, Robbie, was successful and managed to take out the CPU with 1 point, and in the most shocking turn of events, Best Boy Roy managed to beat the odds and ended with an astonishing 2 points. He almost never performs well on any other challenge, but today he just decided to lock in and get it done. We nearly had a franchise clear with everyone winning, but unfortunately, Brad Pitt really fell short and ended with a -3. Pit of Despair ended with a +1 and had a really cool final smash moment under the stage.
Goodbye!
And Polly, while not performing her greatest ever, still succeeded and earned a point.
Oh shit, let's play Animal Crossing now.
The Mother franchise and Star Fox franchises aren't the only ones not having any amiibo beating the CPU. I'll leave it at that. Okay, this is where I started getting really confused by how this was going. Bowser Jr. and Roy were consistently not my greatest amiibo in general, and somehow they managed to do 2 of the best performances so far in the challenge. That trend holds true again with the Mii Fighters because Leliana, a former tournament champion, failed to beat the CPU, and DayZ didn't fare much better. However, somehow, Mary, the Mii Gunner amiibo I almost never use because she just isn't that good, she actually beat the CPU. Only barely, but it counts.
I'm really feeling it!
Okay, so for this, I decided I would only use one of the Pyra and Mithra amiibos, and I picked Mithril since she's a tournament champion. And it's a good thing I did because she beat the CPU. Bro, the Shulk amiibo, he didn't fare so well. He just did not see that one coming. Oh, give me 1 second. I don't want my computer to fall asleep. I don't know if that's going to interrupt the recording. This one's one of my pride and joys. Bila, she's really rare. You're good at sitting, right?
Here is your answer.
No, she's not. Okay, where was I? I just did Xenoblade. Okay.
Are you asking for a challenge?
I decided to combine all the fighting game characters into one category for this. So that's going to include Ryu, Ken, Terry, and Kazuya. Out of the 4, only Hadouken passed with a single point. Some of my buses came really close to winning but couldn't quite pull it off. Bro Ken struggled a bit more, and the less said about Terrence, the better.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, I'm doing Final Fantasy next, and I'm just gonna lump Sora into this category as well. Fahogwa Gods had the power of God and anime on his side apparently, but neither Wingus nor Disney World had the same luck. Okay, we're nearly done. I never really focus on Simon and Richter, do I? And why start now? Devo was one of the worst performers. He got a -6. Richter did succeed, though.
Nintendo!
The next category I'm calling the Nintendo Miscellaneous category. It's basically all the retro characters and the ones that don't have more than one rep. Pouch scored a -1, but honestly should have scored lower for not using any Falcon punches. I know that's more so disappoint the Captain Falcon Amiibos thing, but I still am holding true to it here. Hammer Time also scored a -1, as did Oliver and Company and Big Mac. Mr. Gamer, Mr. Roboto, and Futaba all scored a -2, and Min Min for the win-win unfortunately scraped by with just a -3. On the plus side, both Lauren and Donald and Goofy beat the CPU.
And the rest.
Okay, so I just found out that I didn't hit record for this segment. I had all their data written down for like their win and losses, but I don't actually have the footage for these last several fighters. Do I re-record this? I don't want to re-record this. I'm gonna have to re-record this, aren't I? Shoot, hold on. Guess I gotta fix this. I kicked the tripod.
End of part 1. Intermission. End of Intermission. Part 2.
Okay, so now that's over with. Here are the results. Snake surprisingly failed with a -2. Tiny Tim nearly made it but ended with a -1. Lucas failed with a -2 as well. Our God-shattering star Cherry Bomb went out with a whimper as a -1, as did Gaha. Meanwhile, both Protagonist and Diggy Diggy landed in hot waters and only scored -4 each. However, we do have 2 victors in the forms of Legs for Days and The Juice. I took all this data, sorted them by performance, and we do have an overall winner and an overall loser. So I'm going to go ahead and give the bottom 10 first, and then I will give the top 10. At the very bottom of the list, to the surprise of no one, was DDD's Nuts, closely followed by Terrence, Devo, Diggy Diggy, Disney Whirl, Protagonist, Mutant, Mass Effect, Mike and Ike, much to my chagrin, and Gelato. And now for the top 10 we have, in 10th place, surprisingly, Mary the Me Gunner. In 9th place we have Lauren. 8th we have Robbie. 7th we have Dragon Age. 6th we have The Pit of Despair. 5th we have Fahulgwa Gods. 4th, Lamp Oil. 3rd, I wrote Bayonetta and not Legs for Days. For some reason I didn't write the amiibo name. 3rd is Legs for Days. 2nd, The Child. And in 1st place, this one was an actual shocker, was Best Boy Roy. And if you were paying attention to the numbers, you'll realize the highest score we ever got throughout this entire competition was only 2 points. And if you're counting the number of fighters who actually managed to beat the CPU, out of 87, we had 24 manage to beat the CPU. I don't like this. I don't like this result. I'm very disappointed. I wasn't expecting them to do so poorly. But that's what the data is. That's where we stand. And, I'm sad now. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Oh, wait, scratch that. There's one more thing I have to talk about. So I've decided that the top 5 amiibo who performed here, they're all going to be Amiibo Slayer champions now because I've decided it. I can do whatever I want. It's my determination. I want to end up with a tournament of champions where I have 32 total champion fighters. And right now I think I'm at 17, so I'm going to add 5 more, and that'll get us closer to that championship. And I guess I'll see you next time. Until then, keep on keeping on. Stay classy. I'm gonna go make pizza.